to the conventional loan contingency exhibit. Remember, this is an exhibit for your buyers on your contract. So it's going to have a letter up there as an exhibit number. I tend to make mine A all the time because everyone wants to know how the property is going to be paid for. So again, you'll put the offer date, whatever date that is, the address of the property that they're looking to purchase, and then you're going to come down here in the application. So how are they paying for it? Typically, for most people, it's going to be a first mortgage loan, percentage of the purchase price. So if your buyer is putting down 10%, then they're going to have a 90% loan. Terms, probably 30 years. Don't be super caught up on, they could be doing a 15-year loan. So if they are doing that, you would want to put that in there. Definitely. Not greater than, I typically will put about a point higher than the current rates are because that's important when the rates have been fluctuating so much. You want to make sure that you don't put too little of a rate. So currently the rates are about 6.5. I'm going to just to CYA put 8%. And then I'm going to put fixed here. We're not doing a second, so we're only doing one. And then I'm going to put in our approved mortgage person. I'm going to put Kathy Vitale, and then I'm going to put Onward Mortgage, her email, and her phone number in there. Length of time of financing. That's your financing contingency period for your client. That's why we recommend for you always to make sure that your clients are pre-approved before you even go looking for houses. Because in that way, should you be in a multi-offer situation, you might be able to put in here 7 days is all they need for financing contingency. So that's important. Typically, you could put anywhere from 7 to 21 days, but most people are still pushing back on a 21-day financing, FYI, even a 14-day financing. Length of time for buyer to request a reduction in the sales price based upon a low appraisal. This is the old appraisal clause. It's the new appraisal clause. The time period for buyer to request a reduction in the sales price of the property if it appraises for less than the purchase price of the property as set forth in section 13 below shall be X days from binding agreement date. So that's not that you get the appraisal back at 8 o'clock on Friday night and that's the last day. You actually have to put a request in for reduction of sales price, and there is a specific GAR form for that. So typically, if we're doing, if we're trying to do a competitive offer, and I have contacted the lender to be like, hey, could we do a 14-day appraisal? And they say, absolutely, we can have it done in 10. That's great. I'm going to put 14 days there. That makes this contract look a little more attractive than some of the others that might come across the agent's desk. And then, as usual, you're going to have the buyer sign. Eventually, the sellers will sign too once the contract is agreed upon and binding. Hope that helps.